Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast wrestling edition. Today going to be a very sad topic. We're going to be talking about the passing of Mr. Bray Wyatt Wyndham Rotunda. I know you guys are looking for our all-in review. Don't worry, that'll be on the way. As long as talking about All Out Payback, that'll be in the way in these next couple weeks. Decided to just make this podcast just about talking about Bray, as we have not had the chance to talk about this on air. So we got the wrestling expert with us, Mr. Jacob Mason. How are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm all right. Doing better than I have the past week. Haven't been I can't say I've been excited for this podcast, but as excited as I'm going to be, I guess.
Yeah. So let's just first off, it was a couple of days ago, August 24th. I'm scrolling through Twitter, see Triple H tweets, received a call from WWE Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, informed us the tragic news that Wyndham, aka Bray, unexpectedly passed away today. At first, when I first saw that, before sharing it with everyone, I had to make sure that was a real Triple H because, on Twitter, anyone can buy a blue check mark. I went on the page, saw it's Triple H, and I was like, oh my gosh, sent it out to everyone, and then we've all went from there. And then when other wrestlers, because this was the first time, Jacob, that I remember that TMZ or any of that stuff wasn't the one who broke the news of a wrestler passing. It was Triple H.
Yeah, even my wife was confused about that. She was kind of shocked that Triple H was the one that came out and said this stuff. And my actual quote to her was, well, it's better to come from Triple H, in my opinion, than like TMZ, for example, or, whatever news reporter, is going to get quote unquote clicks based off of one thing. So yeah, coming from Triple H, like when you sent that to us, I was at work and I had to read that like 3 times. I was like, there's no way I'm reading this right. And then I did the same thing you did. I went and checked to make sure it was the actual real Triple H. And then when I seen that, I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, that one took me by surprise along with everyone else.
Yeah, because with Triple H announcing it, I guess too, we didn't know how he passed. We just knew he unexpectedly passed away. Then it came in, and then wrestlers started saying, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy! Rest in peace!" And then fans, and for the longest time, because we were getting the rumors he was getting ready to come back. We knew he was dealing with some injury or sickness, and we were starting to get those rumors he was coming back. And from that to unexpectedly passing away, man, that took me for a loop.
Oh yeah, it was yeah, I mean, we all knew, I mean, at least from all the reports that, he was dealing with a lot of stuff mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the passing of Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So, but big health issues, he's only 36. He's only a couple years older than us. So it's like,
Yep.
holy hell, I mean, when it came out more and more that COVID, it was complications from COVID that caused him to have a heart attack. I would have never guessed. I mean, the dude's in still way better shape than all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, damn, this one, dude. I mean, it sucked because we had the day before we had Terry Funk passing,
Yeah.
which like, damn, this like I like Terry Funk, everyone knows I like heels, and I was like, damn, that sucks, but we knew Terry Funk, he was, towards the end, that's been going on for a couple of years now. But like the Bray thing, oh god, dude, it just came out of nowhere, and no pun intended, but RKO'd me.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think the biggest thing that you said too was obviously too, rest in peace, Terry Funk, but he was on the back end. Like we said with
exactly.
Bray, 36. I mean, we're all in the same age range as him, so it's like that's what really I felt like hit us the most. Like he's a 1, 2, 3 years older than all of us, and like from our oldest person who does this, like because Byron I think is 32, 33, so it's like it's only 3 years older than Byron. It's only 6 years older than me. Like it's just like that hit a lot, man.
Yeah, and I think we've all known someone who's probably passed away from COVID at this point, but
Mm-hmm.
even, with all the people that I've known, it's always been older people,
Mm-hmm.
and no knock on the elders of the L7C community. But 36, damn.
Yeah, with the heart complications that just gave out. And Bray obviously leaves because they didn't officially get married even yet. His fiance JoJo used to work at WWE. They had 2 kids together, and then Bray had the other 2 kids from his previous marriage, so with Samantha. So that's 4 kids, man, that they're not going to see their dad anymore, and he's not going to be able to be at those moments. He also leaves behind his brother Taylor, as we know him as Bo Dallas, who they were doing stuff with the Uncle Howdy stuff, and it's like seeing the pictures with him and his kids, man, and like with JoJo and all that stuff. It was just, it hurts, man, because then you see, which I've always hate about people passing, how much people really care about someone because the outpour was from everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, the outpour was it was major. And then, like you said, seeing the photos of him with his family, I mean, we all, we all love him for the wrestler, Bray
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt, but at the end of the day, even more importantly than him being the wrestler, he is a father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a fiance, a
Mm-hmm.
husband,
Yeah.
an ex-husband. He's got a little bit of titles of everything, and but he's just a human being at the end of the day. And dude, I can't say it enough how much this one hurt. Like earlier in the year when Jay Briscoe passed away,
Yeah.
dude, I hurt from that one. I hurt from that one majorly, and the absolute, you know, pain. This one, I felt on this one because I mean, dude, I've been a Bray supporter since day one. Like I ran that cult, you know. I feel like I was the head of the fan club here, and it's weird because like from like my perspective of things, and just all I could say is like, man, like I in a way, like, dude, I went through like the 7 stages of grief with this whole entire thing. Like, yeah, I was so pissed off at one point because I was like, dude, because like you said, everyone had this major outpour of this love for Bray Wyatt, and I'm like, dude, where the hell were all you people years ago? In the
Mm-hmm.
dog days of Bray Wyatt, when dudes get shit on constantly, like, where the hell were all of you people? And that's I guess selfish and dickheaded of me, but at the same time, like, I mean, yeah, man, it just fucking sucked.
I mean, no, I understand too. If like, because you have been a day one supporter of Bray Wyatt, even like the first day I met you. So, I, and I can understand your anger there because it's like you've been outwardly supporting this guy since day one, and then when he passes away, the internet wrestling community just comes out of nowhere and it's like, oh, I've been the biggest Bray Wyatt fan since this, and this. And you're just sitting there like, where have you been the whole time?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the shitty family members that show up right before someone
Mm-hmm.
passes away and tries to get in on that will. It's like, hey, fuck y'all, get the hell out of here.
Because I'm even looking at podcasts that were specifically he's been mentioned in other ones, but Bray centric. And I was able to pull coming up like August 2nd, 2021. We did it almost like this. We did an emergency podcast because Bray Wyatt got released.
Exactly.
And that was in
Yeah.
2021. And then October 16th, 2022, the title right here, he's got the whole world in his hand. Bray Wyatt's legendary return. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, it's just really painful too, because then you see like his last Raw, Undertaker was passing him the torch. Like man, just thinking of all the stuff we won't get to see from the wrestling side because he had so much to give, man. Probably the most creative mind in wrestling of our generation.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then for all that taken away, and then again, this one shook the whole wrestling world. I mean, he passed away on Thursday. WWE that Friday had the memorial stuff for him and Terry Funk dedicated to show them. Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, who Braun Strowman has not been seen on WWE television and Eric Rowan in a while. I know Braun's recovering from an injury. They were front and center, middle with Triple H. Cody Rhodes wasn't even supposed to be on SmackDown that day. He altered his stuff. He went to SmackDown. Seth was going to do the same, but he stated he remembered a conversation he had with Bray about like being with your kids and all that, and that was his only off day of the week. But then he honored him in his way too, and it's like, man, I really feel for Braun and Eric, man. Two of your best friends gone in 3 years in a 3 year span.
In very sudden ways too.
Mm-hmm. I don't wish that upon anyone. Just imagining like two of your best friends are gonna die in the next 3 years. Like that I don't wish that on anyone, man.
Oh hell no. Oh, and then you brought up Cody, man. Like Cody was there for the Brody Lee stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then turn around and 3 years later we have Cody there for all the Bray Wyatt stuff. Like that, dude. What the hell? Like
Yeah,
that's fucking rough.
yeah, man. It's I'm like you see the whole roster, like the entire, obviously the SmackDown roster out there. They do the 10 bells, and they did a very good tribute video for him. And then seeing other people's stuff, like because it could be hitting people differently. Like I saw Dwayne. I mean, The Rock. He had a whole bunch of like posts and stuff about Bray, and like we're seeing. I was like, didn't know you guys were like that close, but I guess from his perspective, Bray is one of the first, because I mean he's like Rock, like in that third generation superstar stuff. He's the first one to go,
Uh,
so that probably hit people like Rock and Randy Orton in a completely different way because they're all third generation superstars, and Bray was the first one to pass away, and just like Randy and Rock, he has kids too, so it's like probably put Rock and them in their mortality.
yeah, yeah. And that tribute show. I mean, I straight up I couldn't watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could not. I remember my wife asking me like, "Hey, I got off work early. She's like, "Hey, are we gonna watch this SmackDown tonight? This Bray Wyatt tribute?" I'm like, "You can. I'm not. Like, I can't bring myself to do it." So instead, I just got angry and got pissed about everyone coming out and be like, "Oh my god, Bray Wyatt's the best!" I'm like, "Man, fuck y'all." And then I just watched like old Bray Wyatt matches and shit, man. I popped on my Xbox 360 and put in WWE 13, which is like the only wrestling game I play. And then like sure as shit, Bray Wyatt's a champion, like in my universe, man. I haven't touched that game in like, I don't know. It's been like probably 7 months now. I pop it in, I'm like, hell yeah. Like dude, what I'm talking about, my boy Bray.
Yeah, it's because obviously the SmackDown there, which I mean from the ratings, they did really well. Then obviously you had the biggest wrestling event, which we'll talk about on another podcast, All In, and then those people, AEW people, doing their tributes for Bray Wyatt, and then come back this past Monday, tributes for Bray. Becky Lynch ended the show off air talking about a story about Bray. Just today, WWE released a 36-minute video of multiple superstars talking about like Bray Wyatt and all of that stuff and their stories, and like the Drew one hit and like it's just not fair. Like he's like, we're not supposed to be going to your funeral, we're supposed to be going to your wedding. Like it's just not fair, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fair, man. It's not fair at all. Like it fucking sucks. Like I don't know how else to put it. But at the end of the day, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, because I mean on the one we did in 2021, at that point, we went through like his whole career, like the ups, the downs, like you said, how many times he got shat on, the moments where he had all this momentum and it got killed by Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell, or the Goldberg thing, or Roman coming, wrecking everyone and leaving. And it's like, we feel like we never got the full potential.
No, no, but at the same time, like as shit on as a lot of his stuff did happen, it really made those moments where he shined like so much brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Like him at Elimination Chamber beating Styles and Cena clean
For
to
his
win
first
the
WWE title. Yep.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude, that was awesome, And yeah, I know a lot of people, didn't like the match, but I'm gonna go back and say it. Uh that match he had with Cena at WrestleMania, COVID Mania.
Yep. Firefly
And
Funhouse.
yeah, dude, that match was fucking awesome. It was so good. And then, even his last match with LA Knight at Rumble
Mm-hmm.
on the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Man, dude, I don't care, man. That match was fucking cool, dude. Like, was it his best wrestling thing? No, but that match was, once again, it was just something Bray did that was just so uniquely Bray. It just made it fucking awesome, And then all the Fiend stuff, the good and the bad with that. But those moments, man, those really, really, really good moments, man. I mean, they're just so hard to fucking beat, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, with the stuff with, the stuff with LA Knight, I mean, LA Knight was his last opponent ever.
Yeah.
And then with SmackDown, they did a really cool thing where they had LA Knight main eventing the last opponent of Bray versus Finn Balor, who was the first opponent of the Fiend. And LA Knight got the last promo of the night. And the guy is just, a no side note, but the guy is just on fire that he's able to pay tribute to Bray and keep his storyline going while paying tribute to Bray and quoting Bray. Is like, Jacob, I was actually shocked that the company trusted LA Knight to finish that type of show.
Yeah, I mean, that's good signs for LA Knight. Like, that's really good signs. And like I said, I couldn't watch his stuff on Friday, but I ended up watching his stuff later. And LA Knight's promo was fucking awesome. The way he did that, I mean, that's something you could make a hey class, write an entire article about how good this was and how this was right. And that's something I think a lot of future wrestlers should look at. They'd be like, man, just look at this promo. This is something we need to learn from and build off of, because this was just so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember like all the moments that you just said too. Obviously, I remember the moments with him and Alexa Bliss, and Alexa, she tried to make it, she couldn't make it because of last second travel and her situation, but she had a heartfelt posted video tribute that she did. And his return, man, when he came back in 2022, because I didn't think he'd ever come back, because we all thought he was going to show up on that AEW on Halloween when he got released. We all thought he got released in August. We're like, he's going to be at Halloween, whatever, what AEW was called. It wasn't there. We're like, what's going on with Bray? And when he came back, man, and then the promo after, when I even said on that podcast, I was like, he's talking to the diehard fans like you, and he's like, you guys never forgot about me. You guys always had my back. Like, I listened to that promo, man. It still gets to me.
Dude, that promo, that promo slaps. Like, it slapped when he first did it.
Mm-hmm.
But that promo hits so much differently now. Like, I listened to that promo on repeat like 100 times. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. Like, that's real numbers. Like, it was just, it hit so hard, so different. It's kind of like the Ultimate Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, don't get me wrong, his speech was weird, and so was
the beating heart one.
Yeah, that is. It was. It hits different after the dude passes away. But this one with Bray, I mean, God, yeah, I mean, like, dude's like teared up. Like, the one fan just screamed out like, "We love you," because I love you too. Like, damn.
Yeah, like,
damn.
he's had so many so many like moments, man. Even going back to the beginning, like the way he was able to reinvent himself so many times, from Husky Harris to the Eater of Worlds to the Fiend to the Firefly Funhouse to being released to coming back. Like he never gave up.
Nah, nah. He could reinvent himself. Just letting Bray be Bray is like the best was the best thing for Bray in the wrestling world. Being able to reinvent yourself so many times. You said that perfectly. And like the only other person I could possibly think of that has reinvented himself so much would be like Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And he's a Mount Rushmore GOAT guy, in my opinion. So him and Bray are the only two I can think of that can constantly do that, come up with new gimmicks, do new things, and make it work. And not just make it work, but make it overly work. Get over. They've done that wonder. They did that great.
It's crazy too, because you just think about like the old school like Bray, the big feud with Daniel Bryan to start it off, and then his feud with Cena. I mean, that's still one of my favorite video packages from WrestleMania 30. That This Is My Legacy one, and then they had their trilogy of matches. One match of the year at freaking Payback, and then when Bray Wyatt came back as the Fiend, went on the revenge tour for the people that he should have beat, like you said, with the Cena thing there, and all the other people he should have beat. Like it really just is unfortunate, man. When people lose someone in the wrestling community that's had such an impact on everyone, like a Bray Wyatt, and you didn't know he had an impact until he's gone.
Yeah, yeah, and then like even if you take it back even further, if you look back at like his Nexus stuff when he was Husky Harris,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would have guessed? If you would have looked at Husky Harris for the first time, but like this dude's going to change the game. He's going to be one of the most crazy, brilliant wrestling minds of our generation. I think we would have laughed because a tank with a Ferrari engine is like not is not the quote I would ever guess from the guy that would ever get over as much as he did. Yeah, it's just and I don't know. I keep coming back to it, man. It fucking sucks. And then with Bray, I I have the catchphrase on the L7C, right guy, wrong time.
Mm.
I feel like Bray was another guy who was the right guy, wrong time. He got his limelight spots, but I think of course I think they could have done more with him.
I was getting
else?
to the point where I thought if Cody loses at WrestleMania 40, I thought he was going to be the one, because Roman's still on the revenge tour list. I was starting to get to that point.
Oh, that would have been sweet. That would have been hella cool.
But we're never done.
And yeah, like how we've talked about in the past about how we were robbed of CM Punk versus MJF.
Mm-hmm.
First time going around. I just the more I think about it, the more I go like, God, we are robbed out of so many good matches.
Yeah,
like if futurely built matches and so many storylines that we'll never see. Which part of me feels very selfish saying that, because like we said in the beginning of the podcast, more importantly of him being a wrestler, he was a father. So it's like, oh, we were robbed out of all these matches, and at the same time it's like, fuck, these kids are robbed out of having a father.
yes.
That like I don't want to like I don't want anyone to get this twisted. Like, yes, I'm very sad, but I want to make sure like it's very clear that like I'm sad for everything, not just one thing in particular. Yes, we do wrestling stuff on this podcast, but like I said, we're all human. It sucks we lost this brilliant human being on this planet.
Yeah, I just think that, with two, because I know In this day and age, everyone wants like a comment from someone. Everyone wants a post, or they don't think they cared or anything like that. And I'm gonna say this right now, like leave for people listening to our stuff. I don't think you guys do, but leave JoJo alone. She doesn't need to post anything, man. She doesn't need to
Oh,
post a damn thing.
yeah. If anyone's if the IWC is being dickheads to her, like, please just stop watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Just stop. Just stop. Reevaluate yourself.
Yeah, it's cool when people post stuff, but they don't have to. Like she doesn't have to post a damn thing if she doesn't want to, man. She doesn't have to speak until she's ready. Like she just became a widow. Now she's about to be a single parent. Like she does not have to say a damn word until she is ready, if she even wants to.
Yeah, yeah, no, and it's frankly, it's nobody's business.
Yep.
It's not a damn person's business, but hers, and her kids.
With WWE, I know they have the best of Bray Wyatt on Peacock. They also all the merchandise sold that they're doing now with Bray going to the family. So that's really, really good stuff. And like you shared a couple today, as we're recording on a Wednesday, Tony Khan was like, if you guys want to go to the service and whatnot, we can figure that out. I mean, when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, Tony Khan is really good.
He's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Like, he did this for the Briscoes. He's doing this for Bray. I mean, Bray was never in AEW.
Yep.
He had nothing to do with AEW. But yet, hey, I know how much he meant to you guys. I know how much it meant to the wrestling world. I know how much he meant to you as a friend. By all means, you need to go, you go, man. Shit. That's what everyone wishes their boss would do.
Yep. Yep.
No questions asked. Hey, you need it off. Don't worry about it. You go. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
That's fucking awesome.
He's really good in that regards. And I was interested too, like watching that SmackDown, I mean, because he was hurt. Because typically those things, Vince is front and center. He wasn't there.
Right. Oh, part of me is like, I'm glad, but another part of me is like, oh, I kind of wish Vince was there. Like, I get, the world hates Vince McMahon right now, but like, even, I've been to funerals, and there's people I absolutely cannot stand that I'll see there, but no, man, put that bullshit aside for a little bit. Like, I would have been okay with seeing Vince there. It wouldn't have bothered me one bit. It would have been like, all right, cool, dude. Like, stand in unity. Like,
yeah,
I'm getting that shit.
I mean, people doing. I mean, they had the Bray Wyatt, Terry Funk like bands. I mean, Seth Rollins changed his title plate to the Fiend. I don't know how long that will be, but he did that. Like I already said, Becky given the story about about Bray, and it's just like hearing all these stories. You're just like, damn, man. You have no idea how many people you affect until you don't get to hear it.
Yeah, for real. For real, absolutely.
Which is just so. What's his legacy for you, man? Like you've been with him since day one. Like the legacy he leaves behind now. What would you say it is?
I don't know. Like I can say, like, I don't even know how to word this. I'm just gonna start shit out of my mouth here. His legacy, for me, first seeing Bray Wyatt, because I was out of wrestling for the longest time, and when I came back in, Bray Wyatt was doing his thing in early NXT, and like I remember seeing snippets on WWE.com, and I'm just like, dude, look at this chunky fellow who's like running a cult, dude. This is my type of shit right here. This is fucking awesome. Yeah, and I hooked right off the rip. I'm like, yep, this guy, he's my fucking guy. That's my boy right there. Two fat white guys. Yep, we're in on this. And seeing how we talked about earlier, seeing how he progressed, he can always change it. He can always make shit great. Something else we didn't even talk about. Like all the stuff he did with Matt Hardy. the tag team they had, the rivalry they had, like that shit was fucking awesome. Um, for me, Bray is someone who I think was incredibly understood yet completely misunderstood.
Yeah.
I think if they would have let him do everything he wanted to do, it would have been so off the walls. They probably couldn't have reined it back. But uh, I he's the guy who always could have done more if they let him, and just such a brilliant wrestling mind. Just a wonderful, just so far out there doing the crazy shit no one's ever thought of doing. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, this one fucking sucks. I don't know. That was my boy. That was my dude. And he's no longer here with us. And I pray for his family and hope everything is they'll get through this. And I hope WWE stands beside them.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess a question to you is next year at Mania,
Mm-hmm.
does the Wyatt family go into the Hall of Fame?
I don't know if they'll do the whole family. I'm really trying to. I can make a case for the family. I know people have been saying Bray should be the headliner, but usually they plan this shit a year in advance. Because God forbid, remember that I was super pissed when whatchamacallit, Shad did not get that damn Ultimate Warrior thing, and then I found out they planned that thing a year. I was really hot that they couldn't make an audible for that. So, I mean, potentially, I wouldn't rule it out. But then I think I'll just get mad again because I'll get mad. I was like, only putting him in this year because he just passed away, and now I'm seeing it as a publicity thing.
Right. And like I thought, like, oh, did they just do Bray singly? But at the same time, I don't know. For me, and I'm trying in my mind, I've ran this through my head times, like, oh, should this be a Hall of Fame? The first ballot, should they headline it? Should it just be Bray? Should it be the Wyatt family? But for me personally, I would say just do the Wyatt family. Just do the whole Wyatt family because we're never going to get it again. It's that is the OG Wyatt family is the 2 out of the 4 is done. They're no longer with us. So in my opinion, I would put them. I just put the whole family in there because I think Braid has had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, you can. Yep.
And at the end of the day, he's won 2 WWE championships. He's won the tag titles. I mean, he's won a bunch of different titles. So, and just even if you put the titles aside, I think his storylines, this crazy stuff he's done, I think is Hall of Fame caliber. But I am biased, so
I also think too, from I'm just really on this publicity something. I don't think if they're thinking about doing it, it's like, oh, it'd be a good piece. You don't do it if JoJo doesn't want you to do it.
Oh, facts.
Like if you do this if let's just say they do the Wyatt family, all that next year, and she's not there, I'm gonna have a huge problem.
Right. But I also think like at the same time, what if JoJo is like, oh well, yeah, you can put him in, but I'm not going to be there for that.
But then,
even and I don't know. I don't want because I completely get exactly what you're saying, but it's just I wouldn't want to make a knee jerk reaction. At that time because how much backstage stuff that no one knows until like this. No one knew that Bray had a heart issue.
Yep.
And we're reporting on it after the fact
because
like everyone else did. This was completely very closed
Yeah.
off.
'Cause I'm just thinking from the standpoint too that that'd probably be her first time in a WWE thing, like in a very long time. And like the camera's gonna be focused on her and her kids. And if she doesn't want her kids, like she wants them to have time to heal. And if she wants to be like, oh, I want to do it not this year, but like next year,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
But if there's
I
reports that come out from Meltzer saying they're doing Bray and they didn't consult JoJo, it's gonna be hell to pay.
yeah. But at the same time, we also have to take it with a grain of salt. That's something that would get a shitload of clicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which is so fucked up that we have to say that. We shouldn't have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But we live in a day and age now where, hey, what's going to get me clicks? That would get clicks. And like,
Yeah.
oh, I was wrong. My sources were wrong. It could be some dumb shit like that too.
It's true. It's true. I mean, but wait, see, because before, I mean, I haven't really thought about the Hall of Fame thing because I personally, before this happened, I think Paul Heyman should headline it since it's
Yeah,
in Philadelphia.
yeah,
I felt like an ECW person should headline it, but I know, I mean, he is omega smart in this business, so I know if he was like, "Nah, put that shit to the side, I can do it whenever," and then right, but we'll see, man, we'll see. I just feel like just thinking of Bray is like there's so much more, especially since wrestlers now are wrestling till they're like 500 years old. But
right,
and
right.
he was only scratching the surface, man. Like there's so many other stories. I mean, even we forgot to even talk about the story where we want to talk about the MJF Adam Cole friendship. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, like Randy joining the Wyatt family, helping him win the tag titles, like. Then Randy turning on him, burning down Bray's house, burning Bray Wyatt.
Fort
Like,
Bray's house. Yeah, there's shit. Anytime the Wyatt family brought someone from the outside, they always got screwed. Whether it was Daniel Bryan or Randy Orton, they
like
were always turned. But
just shit like that. Like, and you're like, man, he had so many good moments. You almost like, you're like, he had more good than bad. It's just those bads, like, really
just
glared.
bad for bad, man.
I mean, the two,
Yeah.
the Seth one and Goldberg are the twos for me. They're the two for me that are just,
And then you can even think of you remember that cool moment where Bray Wyatt was I think he was pinning Sheamus. Him and Roman were tagging, and he
oh,
just
the signature, man. Oh, yeah. Yep.
the finger guns and Roman Spear. That's such a cool moment. Or
Oh,
when
yeah.
he clotheslined AJ Styles in Elimination Chamber. Like it was so violent, but so
Mm-hmm.
good. Like
Mm-hmm.
fuck out of here. Like it was dude, I have seen, everyone's talking about this. This is the thing to talk about right now. And for both good and bad. But I've seen people talking, putting out, fantasy booking shit. Do if big F here, if, and I'm saying this with finger quotes, if Bo Dallas was Uncle Howdy, do you keep Uncle Howdy in it and have him finish the story?
I think
Or
so. I'm already gonna say I think so because in theory, we technically have not had it been revealed that it was Bo Dallas. We just all know it's him.
exactly. Oh, for the longest time, we thought it was, I thought it was Vincent from Ring of Honor for the longest
Mm,
time. And then Eric Young was allegedly part of it. Then when that storyline kind of fell apart when Bray had to go away, he went back to Impact.
yeah.
So, but I'm not gonna lie, it's one of these things where I don't want to see Bray Wyatt to get taken advantage of after he's passed. But at the same time, since is his real life brother, like strike while the iron's kind of hot, I would say. Because if Bo Dallas came out, Uncle Howdy, and then unmasked, dude, that would be fucking massive.
Do they? Because they've been in this type of thing before. Do they go the Eddie route? Obviously, Bo's not big enough to win like the Royal Rumble, but I mean that propelled Rey Mysterio to win. Are we looking at something where Braun Strowman, that's where he makes his return and he wins the Rumble, and he has a whole year trying to dedicate stuff to Bray?
Uh honestly, I would rather see Bo Dallas do it than Braun Strowman.
Makes
What I would
sense.
like to see with Braun Strowman is I would like to see WWE hire back Eric Rowan and them do the tag titles together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would like to see. I would like to see, I don't want to say the Wyatt family, but maybe Bo Dallas with it. I mean, I don't know, man, because to me it's like all this still feels like way too early to be completely fantasy booking, but
Yes.
at the same time we're fucking wrestling fans. It's what the fuck we do.
Well, that's what he would tell. I mean, that's what Bray would want us to do, man. Like when you hear him talk about wrestling and a legacy, this is what he would want us to do.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess if someone's going to carry on the legacy, Bo Dallas is is your number one or your number two pick
Yeah.
at this point. You know, unless his kids grow up and they do like a Brody Lee -1 type deal thing. Where eventually -1 will get old enough and carry on Brody Lee's legacy. Uh, maybe Bray Wyatt's kids do that. I don't.
Yeah,
But
man. Bray Wyatt from May 23rd, 1987, August 24th, 2023. I just think it's crazy because, I mean, L7C is celebrating its third year, Jacob, and in our 3 years, we've covered the rise and fall and now death of Bray Wyatt in the 3 year span. Well, the fall, the rise, and now death in that order.
yeah, fucking rough.
We were here for his release. We were here when he came back, and we were here when he passed. And this is our 3 years, man. It's just wild that has all happened in a 3 year window.
Yeah, fucking crazy, man. Absolutely.
Anything else, Jacob, on Bray?
Uh, the one thing I would say, like we talked about it earlier. I know I keep saying those exact words, but uh, you know, uh, it was documented that Bray Wyatt went through a lot of like mental things throughout his years. He even talked about it on his return promo, talk about like losing people and losing himself and everything. And for what it works is for what it's worth, I guess it's going to be like my little TED talk of the podcast. Uh, especially for men. If you're dealing with stuff mentally, don't be afraid to go and get some help. Like, go talk to your doctor, go talk to a friend, go talk to a therapist, go do what you got to do, and don't be ashamed of going and getting help. That would be what I would say would be my closing comments on the Bray Wyatt thing is, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, and for everyone out there, but especially men, because I don't think it gets talked about enough. If you need help, go get help. We're all here for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, also too want to throw back the other reason too with the Braun Strowman I was thinking about. For people who don't know, with the kids that Bray Wyatt has with JoJo, Braun Strowman's the godfather.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I echo everything you said, and just from a normal, I mean, we we hear this every time someone passes. You do not know how much time you got, man. So you got to take every day. Like if you have some bullshit with someone, man, push it to the side because that might be the last conversation you have with that person. Like Bray Wyatt was 36 with so much more to give for the wrestling community, for his family, his kids, and he won't be able to do it anymore. And like you said, super healthy. I mean, I don't care what your body looks like. And that's another thing. That's a pet peeve of mine when people talk about wrestlers. I don't care what your body looks like. If you're on the road for 300 freaking 50 days, taking those bumps, you are in shape, no matter what your fucking body looks like. So, again, man, my only wish for the internet wrestling community, because I know we are terrible. Don't be tweeting JoJo. Don't be atting her on Instagram. Don't add anyone. Let them be, man. Because it was so sudden. Like Booker T found out live on his show.
Yeah.
Like it was just he was just like, wait, what? Like, man. But rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. You'll sorely be missed, man. It's just weird. Wrestling, man. It's just weird. Because we know you left a legacy, because like you said, you can just go and watch hours of Bray Wyatt all day.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on for years and years to come. So I know you wanted to leave a legacy, and you definitely did, man. And you'll sorely be missed. So with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to our Bray Wyatt special. We greatly appreciate it. We will be coming with our thoughts on All In. We will be coming with our thoughts on All Out and some Payback. And we know you want to hear our thoughts on one Mr. CM Punk all over again. Don't worry. We're going to get those recorded real soon. We just got to figure out schedules again. But this one was the most important thing. So we will be back in like a couple of days giving you all the drama, because we have thoughts on Mr. Phil Brooks. And we feel like we're in a round robin doing this all over again. But with that being said, this is the L7C podcast. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. You had the whole world in your hands, and you still do. L7C podcast, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.